Hey, hey, Gemini. Welcome to Zero's Journey. I'm Madeline. If this is your first time here, I'm very happy to have you. And if you're back, welcome, welcome. Very, very excited to see what is ahead for you this month. And before we get into your tarot cards, I want to get into a channeled message that Spirit has for you. And listen, as I prepare to say this to you, I recognize that it may... You ever pet a cat backwards? You ever pet a cat the wrong way? It's a little bit of that. Like, I'm still petting you, but I'm petting you a little bit the wrong way, okay? Let's just talk about it. The word and the sensation, wow, that Spirit brought through, and I pulled a card from the Threads of Fate deck, is surrender. Now, you understand why I say that can be a little annoying for some people, like, what the fuck, never surrender, right? Like, there's a lot of courage and fire and like, never surrender. Okay, and that has its place. Never surrender doesn't have a place like, okay, let me say it like this. There can be a chasm sometimes between where we are and where we want to be. And we can get real itchy and irritated if we think about that chasm, that schism, the difference between what I want and what I have right now. I want a different job, or I want to be living in a different place, or I want a different type of life or relationship, or etc., right? This is not about, we'll give up on it. That's surrender is not give up. If Spirit or I or any of these like communities meant give up, like, then we'd say give up, because PS, just as an aside, there's nothing wrong with that either. If it's true and authentic to give up on something because it's not for you or it's not doing what you thought it would, it's okay to do that, okay? Surrender. And I feel like if Spirit is bringing that up, of course, these are our general readings, Gemini, so I'm getting a few different messages for all the different people that are going to be watching this. But some of you that may resonate, that if you might need to quit or let something go in order to live more truthfully. And honestly, that's been a little bit of a theme across the reading so far. As often happens, it's like with astrology, right? Like the sun is in a certain sign. There's a certain flavor in the atmosphere, flavor to the energy. And there's a lot of letting go of holding ourselves to something. Spirit is saying you don't hold yourself to something, something holds you. If you hold something, a dream, a desire, and it holds you back, great. If it makes you itchy and irritable and freaked out and anxious, it may be time to play with surrender. To play with the idea of like, okay, so this is my job. This is my job right now. Not forever. This is my job right now. What is this showing me? What is this teaching me? Like, okay, so this is as an experiment. You don't have to buy into this, okay? This is a thought experiment. This is where the universe wants me right now. Another quick aside, Gemini. Just talking both outsides of my mouth, right? Gemini energy. These things are not mutually exclusive. Okay, all right, listen. Spirit's talking about surrender in terms of flexibility. If the universe wants me in this job right now, in this environment, in this home, in this city, in this relationship, and it's like I can't escape or push it into my unconscious, like it's bothering me. What if I just do a quick reframe? Okay, and this is how Spirit's putting it for you, Gemini. What if this is a level in a game? We've all played a game, right, that was like, I'm having fun. Then we get to one boss or one stage that is just like, oh my God, like you just can't. Like you try and you try. Is this just me? Am I the only one? But Spirit is saying, like, surrender. Sometimes you got to put down the controller. Sometimes you got to be like, all right, like there's some trick to this. There's something I'm not seeing. And right now I'm like annoyed and I've been trying to do this for 45 minutes. And here's the real kicker that Spirit is saying is like, and the game is no longer fun. When the game is no longer fun, fucking surrender. Okay. All right. Like maybe tomorrow. You know what I mean? Boy, Spirit is really talking for you, Gemini. If this thought experiment, if this is where the universe wants you right now, for you to win the game, for you to gain the skills, pass the challenges, level up, if you approached it from that perspective, what is this giving me? What is this teaching me? This is giving me some secret ingredient, or else, you know, I would not still be here. If there wasn't a lesson for me here still, then I wouldn't still be here. And we can think about that with like our friends, right? Look, I won't even put it on you, Gemini. Maybe you might also relate to this, but let's just say a friend who's in like a shitty relationship, and like, but they stay and they're like, we're gonna work it out, no, I'm gonna leave them, oh, we're gonna work it out, no, I'm gonna leave them, oh, we're gonna work it out. Like, oh my God. Like, does that even feel good anymore? You know, like now Spirit is showing me like you got a rope like in your hands, and like life or the other person or whatever is like trying to rip this fucking rope away from you. Like, again, if it is truly like, and if it is truly yours and for you and you want to fight for it, fight for it. Like, listen, we don't fucking blame, shame, judge on this channel. But Spirit is saying that rather than and gritting and tensing and pulling. Did you hear my little singing bowl? That was an accident. Letting go. You know, giving it to God, as they say. And saying, okay, you know what? I'm going to set my human nature aside, which is difficult. So congratulations and good fucking job. That's very fucking courageous of you to try to take that higher, more spiritual perspective. I would also say a more rooted perspective. If you get supple, if you get loose, if you get open to what this moment, this person, this event, whatever is teaching you and showing you, I feel like there's some fucking gold in them there hills. It might look like lead at first, right? Spirit is showing me the Magician card, and they're talking about alchemy. And they're saying like, surrender will do some alchemy for you this month. And listen, Spirit and taught a lot. We haven't even pulled out the tarot cards yet. So let's get into it, shall we? Let's look at your story in July for Gemini Spirit, Gemini Sun, Gemini Moon, Gemini Rising, Gemini Dominant folks. What do they need to know in the month of July, Spirit, for their highest good? Greatest joy, security, love. Wow. Okay. I'm not trying to peek, but sometimes Spirit has me peek. Spirit, what does Gemini need to know in July? Wow. What does Gemini need to know in July for their highest good? Always for their highest good, Spirit. Okay, got some bonus cards. I knew Spirit had a lot to say. Talking both sides of my mouth. Lot to say. Let's go, Spirit. You know Gemini loves to talk. For Gemini. I love the way that Spirit talks. Okay, Praxis. Drive-by catting. Ooh, you want to walk away so bad, some of y'all, like so bad. And I get it, like it feels like the environment is challenging, and like might feel challenging. Like when I say challenging, sometimes like normally I love a challenge. I got a few planets in Capricorn. I love a challenge. When I say the environment feels challenging, it feels a little childish. It feels a little disorganized. Some of y'all like might be I'm getting a few different things. Again, general readings, right, Gemini? I'm getting a couple different things. Some of you, it's like the work environment or the home, like, and relationship partnership environment is like childish. Like, whether it's petty or whether it feels like there's like competition, and it feels kind of like snipey. And it doesn't feel like an ideal environment for you to fucking flourish. Like, that's what I'm feeling, right? Wow. You want to walk away from something so bad. And like, when I say damn, spirit, like, damn. Here's the center of your spread. I know that it looks a little dire, right? Hear me out. 9 of Swords is actually I don't mean to bypass how difficult anxiety and even depression, which can be involved with this card, that it can feel so heavy and so dark. Like, I have absolutely been there, so I'm not one of those motherfuckers who's going to bypass that that's difficult. The 9 of Swords, though, is referred to as the nightmare card. Sleepless nights, recycled and recycled and recycled thoughts. Like, it may benefit you, Gemini, to, this is just a real simple exercise, but it may benefit you, those of you who don't have like a journaling habit. And remember, you can write in a journal, love it, it's great, like super cathartic, I do it every single day. You could also get your phone and do like a video journal, like, and just literally talk to yourself, right? Again, this is the channel of no blame, no shame, no judgment, so I fucking talk to myself, clearly. It's me and Spirit just having conversations. Spirit wants you to kind of like you need to kind of word vomit, you need to kind of stress or anxiety vomit. For some of you, it might benefit you to do that with a person. Like, if there is a person that is just like unconditionally supportive and wonderful in your life, and you're like, I just need to tell you that I'm freaking out, or I'm really afraid that this is going to go wrong, or I'm really afraid I'm not going to get this, or I'm really afraid I'm going to be stuck here forever. And that's kind of the energy that I'm feeling. Here's what's crowning your reading. 4 of Pentacles. So some of you, general readings, are feeling boxed in, are feeling kind of like there's no alternative or there's no way out, is what I'm kind of hearing, like dark tunnel. 9 of Swords, like dark tunnel, no way out. 9 of Swords is called the nightmare card because, right, nightmare, when we're in the midst of a nightmare, that shit is vivid as fuck. Like, we really think that zombies are about to get us, or we really think that we're about to careen over this bridge in this out of control car, or whatever. It feels fucking real. And when we operate from a place where we trust that our fear of the outcome or whatever is real, we don't act from a very fulfilling place. Okay? So again, there's no blame, there's no shame, there's no judgment. Act out of fear if you want to. I done it. Fuck. Like, I ain't judging nobody. But it won't be fulfilling. And that's the part. It's not about being better or whatever, like, and be better. That's great too. I'm just saying, Spirit wants you to be true to yourself. Spirit wants you to honor yourself. 9 of Swords, you know, sometimes what else can we do when we're in anxiety and even depression except surrender? And Spirit is talking about, again, not to bypass how difficult or how fucking discouraging or how awful it is to deal with anxiety and depression. And American culture, I should really say white culture, well, let's just go across the board. American fucking culture, there's not, it's getting better, but there isn't the most support for fear, having grief, having doubt, having anxiety, having hesitation. We want to be fucking, like, we want to be John Wayne. We want to be the hero. We want to swagger. We want everybody to see us looking like totally sure of ourselves and making the right decisions and doing what we know is real and right and yada yada. And Neo had to be plugged into the Matrix before he could be the one, right? He had to know what the fuck he was working with before he could be the one. Surrender. Be in it. Okay, I'm here. Okay. What is this teaching me? What is this showing me? The good and the bad and the ugly or whatever, right? And the beautiful and the challenging and da-da-da. Like, well, this is really teaching me that I hate clerical work. or this is really teaching me that this is not enough money, or this is really teaching me that I would prefer to work in a collaborative environment, or whatever, okay? The more you kind of, again, here's where Spirit was saying, like, anxiety and depression, as much as they fucking are so fucking difficult to live with, they are a messenger. They are trying to protect you, ironically. It's like, we're depressed. You ain't gonna lie about shit. Like, you ain't gonna lie. You're too depressed to lie. Like, everyone's gonna know you feel like shit because you've been trying for so long to say that you're not feeling like shit, everything's fine, everything's fine, everything's fine, until you feel like shit because your body and your heart and your soul are like, why is our brain telling us that everything should be fine and that we should be cool when we're not fucking cool? Like, we're not cool. We don't like it. And that's part of surrender. Is okay, I don't like it. I don't like it. You don't have to, for example, recognize that, like, oh my God, like, you know, the final straw, or just the accumulation of data, or just you wake up one day and realize, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore, for example, okay? And I'm not like saying that that's the thing, but this is the metaphor that Spirit's using. If you wake up one day and that is so, it doesn't mean you have to fucking jump off the cliff. It doesn't mean you open your eyes, have this revelation, turn over to your partner and say, I don't want to do this anymore. Unless that feels true and fulfilling to you, okay? Do it if it feels right. But Spirit is saying, acknowledging something to yourself and surrendering to something just to yourself, you're allowed to do that. You're allowed to do that and then sit with that, embody that, let it roll around, make sure that it's true, make sure that it's not a mood or a passing fancy or whatever, right? Gemini, like, the mood could change, mercurial. But if you sit with yourself and you recognize something isn't for you, the first step is just acknowledging it to yourself and being sure of it yourself. And then there's the next steps. So don't blame yourself or shame or judge yourself if you're having some trouble, perhaps walking away from something or someone or whatever that maybe should have been walked away from a long time ago, or you feel like that, right? I should have been out of this job years ago, or whatever it is. Listen, it's a loving what I mean is, it matters what your fear is. And also, again, fear is not an accurate or fulfilling barometer for where to operate from. You are Dunskies, as a friend of mine would say. 8 of Cups, the past, the chapter that is moving out. You getting this sense that you have poured all of this love and effort and energy and time and resourcefulness and research, Spirit is saying all these things, right? And only to come to find that that water that you poured, all that energy that you poured, grew stagnant. This was not a two-way relationship. Again, whether that was a job, whether it was whatever. But it's like something you really cared about and put yourself into. And I feel like a lot of you are coming to this place, we're just gonna jump right to the future, where it's like, okay, now I'm really like, you can't unring that bell. You can't unsee what you've seen. You can't unknow what you've known. So again, Spirit is bringing you back to the metaphor of you wake up and you realize you don't want to be in this relationship, or you recognize that you don't want to be in this job and you hate it and you need out or whatever. You can't unring that bell. And there is a series of events, a series of dominoes that will fall that seem to result in you cutting your losses and walking away from something that you don't want to do anymore, and not carrying guilt about it. Being very much actually at peace with yourself because you are moving with your own emotions. Queen of Cups has like a fucking doctorate in surrender. The flow. Be like water, right? What did Bruce Lee say? Be like water. You flow around the obstacles. You're mutable, Gemini. Like, you're not so far from water in that way. Changeable. You can keep it in a container, right? But air doesn't thrive in a container. It needs to move. Just like the water, it does not thrive when it is stagnant and still. It needs to move. It needs oxygen. Gemini, air, it needs you. This is a very good time to amend your plan. Where you find yourself. I haven't even shown you some of my favorite cards that you have here yet, because Spirit had so much to say. This is a very good time. When Spirit was talking about maybe word vomiting, whether video diary, journal, whatever, It's also like, I'm worried about all these things. I'm scared of this, and what if this happens, I will do that kind of thing. Like talking yourself through it instead of just repeating, like, I'm afraid of this, I'm afraid of this, I'm afraid of this, like variations on a theme of that. Taking yourself through the conversation with your fear to its conclusion. Like, okay, well, I'm really afraid I'm about to get fired. Okay, well, what would we do if we got fired? Well, this would happen, and then this would happen, and then I would file for unemployment, or I would need to do this, or I would whatever. Okay, like, and does that equal the worst fear of, like, I'm gonna be out on the street, I'm gonna have nothing? Or is there recourse? Are there things that can be done? Are there mitigating things that we can do now to, like, stave off this negative, like, thing that we're afraid of? It's tuning into the fear and not, hiding from it. Like Nine of Swords, it's dark in this room already. She certainly doesn't need to be covering her eyes. She's in the dark, but she is, because it's the symbolism is putting ourselves in deeper darkness by hiding from our fear and our anxiety and our depression. Like, you know what? Boogeyman, I see you. Yeah, you in the closet. Yes, I see you, and you're not gonna get me, motherfucker. I see you. Acknowledging your fear. Acknowledging the fuck out of your fear. Knowing it. Being able to list it to yourself. I'm afraid of this. Okay, am I still willing to do what I want to do? Or is there a change I can make? Or whatever follows from this revelation. Again, it looks to me like you've changed the plan. 7 of Swords, 7 of Pentacles. It's a conflict, it's a change. You don't put 7 legs on a dinner table, right? It's going to be 6 or it's going to be 8. You're going to have a weird ass, wobbly ass table if it's 7 legs. So something either needs to go or something needs to come in and fill the space and balance things out. So I love to see that a 7 of Swords is showing up in the 7 of Pentacles, embodying the change and making the plan. And again, like, writing things down. That's just a very simple way to ground your fear, your anxiety, your depression. It's all living up here, right? It's all in the head. It's all like ricocheting around. To put your fears into words on a page and to engage compassionately, patiently, lovingly even with your fear and with yourself, and talk yourself again through. Well, what would happen? I would have to call this person and ask for their help, or, I would do this, or I don't know what I would do. I'm really scared, like whatever it is. Talk yourself through, and talk yourself, Spirit is saying, back into yourself. Talk yourself back into your heart. Out of the head, dropping into the heart. Pardon the earthquake. My cat decided to get involved in the reading. Appreciate it, Prex. Now here's what I haven't shown you yet, Gemini. You might have the 9 of Swords at the center of your reading. But look what's crossing it. The Chariot. The Chariot and Judgment that is sitting in your future have a lot in common, because it's about knowing and going. That's what Spirit just said. Knowing and going. Remember, doesn't mean you have to go right now. But it's like, even if it's just turning my head in a different direction, that is navigating. That is reorienting. I don't want to do this anymore, so I need to at least start looking or thinking about what else I'd like to do, or whatever the first gentle steps are. Surrender first, so the revelation can come over you, because you're not staving it off, you're not lying to yourself, you're not like, nope, I don't hear you. Like, be honest with yourself and surrender, and you will naturally move in a much more victorious and fulfilling direction. The Chariot is a beautiful card about uniting our conscious and our unconscious. Like what Spirit, the way that Spirit wants to talk about it for you today is saying, imagine that you have your unconscious and your conscious, and they're on 2 different sides of a tug of war. And your conscious mind is like, I really want to make this amount of money doing this job, or I really want this kind of relationship, or whatever, right? This is what I want. I know it. Your unconscious is like, let's just take that, ideal partner scenario. Oh, but fill in your gender, preferred gender here. All blank are pigs, or all blank are this, that, whatever, or everybody cheats, or nothing ever lasts, or but my parents got divorced, so aren't I gonna end up divorced? And if we're fucking lying to ourselves and we're pretending that, like, no, shh, I don't feel it. No, I just want to love. I just want to love. And we're not addressing the fucking fear, then we're pulling in one direction and we're pulling in another. We move to get close to someone, we sabotage the intimacy because we make up a red flag. We came in wearing fucking red sunglasses and we're like, oh, no, we try to give you a bouquet of flowers, you say a bouquet of red flags. Like, Spirit wants your vision clear. Be gentle with yourself. Be kind to yourself. I'm also feeling on a very mundane, quote unquote, physical level. Look at your nutrition and your hydration this month and make sure that, you know, like, it's not about needing to eat only clean or whatever. Like, if you want to do that, cool. But Spirit is talking about temperance, which is moderation. All things in moderation. Like, if I've been overdoing it or underdoing it on anything, just kind of introducing a little bit of like, okay, I need more protein, or I need more water, or I need more sleep, or I need more greens, or whatever. And just making, again, 7 of Pentacles, gentle adjustments. How has this been working out for me? Pretty well, but this could be better. Okay, well, let me tweak this and see if that makes it better. You know what I'm saying? Like, switching up the budget. Like, maybe you know that you want out of this job, so your 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Swords exit plan involves opening up a new bank account that is just for savings, and you start aggressively saving because you know you want to quit this job. You know what I'm saying? Surrender, and then the truth comes, and the revelation happens, the bell can't be unrung, and then here's your conclusion card. Remember, the Chariot was at the center. You move toward what your spirit, your soul, your higher self, we could say it that way, the part of you that knows what is really good for you, becomes the navigator. So, know yourself, surrender to your own wisdom. And that's what Spirit just said. Surrender to your own wisdom. Know what you know. Damn. Okay, Gemini. I hope that this is really helpful for you. I hope that you have a wonderful, magical July. I hope that these messages pop back up again in your head and in your heart right when you need them. Wishing you much love and many blessings, Gemini. If you ever want to get a reading or just hang out in Discord, or there's so many things, fun, cool things we could do, it's all in the description box. So, much appreciate you. Like and subscribe if you liked it. Dislike it if you dislike it. That helps too. Appreciate y'all. Have a beautiful month. And if I don't see you in the weekly vlog on Sunday, then I hope I see you in your August reading. Bye, Gemini.